I would advise everybody at least once in their lifetime to get you a Harley Davidson and get lost. That is where the rockets take off at, if you're into like space and stuff like that. Over there, that's Cape Canaveral, Kennedy Space Center. I literally just jumped on the bike and just rode out. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It is your boy, that guy Ike. You are checking out another episode of One Race Lifestyle. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up bell for notifications and subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit that 2K, and we are about 500 and some odd people away from doing so. So let's go ahead and make that happen this year. All right, let's get into it. So today is officially the first time me riding this motorcycle since I adjusted the suspension on it. And shout out to Kenny Quest. If you do not follow Kenny Quest on YouTube and social media, you definitely should. The man is a genius, absolute genius, and he's a good friend of mine. So, yo, Kenny Quest had this video on how to adjust the suspension on this motorcycle. He has a 883 actually, and he has the one with the one that changes colors. He calls it the Snakester. So anyway, I seen his video on how to adjust the suspension, and shout out to, I can't remember the dude's name, but his name is in the comments on the video that I did when I adjusted the suspension. And I did have it backwards. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to stiffen the suspension and not soften it. So I kind of had it backwards with the way I was speaking, although I did it correctly. I just said it the wrong way. But so shout out to him for noticing that and correcting me on that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And so anyway, what I went ahead and did was I adjusted the suspension because there's these little dots on the side of the suspension, and basically that lets you know how stiff or how soft the suspension is. My suspension was only at about one dot, which is like damn near think about the softest level that you can go. So with that being said, every time I hit a bump, pothole, crevice, anything in the road, the bike would pretty much bottom out, and it felt like it was about to snap my spine. I kid you not. Like it was bad. Like, even, I don't know if you guys remember when I went on the bike ride with to Blockhead's grand opening, I hit a bump on the highway, which this bike holds up phenomenal on the highway, by the way. If you don't know, you should get one. But I hit a bump on the highway, and yo, it hurt so bad. Like, I thought I broke the motorcycle. I hit it so bad, so hard. And so I had to figure out a way of how to adjust the suspension. So I started doing my Googles.
Do your Googles, nigga. What the fuck you gonna do, nigga?
Do your Googles. So I did my Googles or whatever, and I found a video of Kenny Quest, which again happens to be a friend of mine that I follow. So I found his video and found out how to adjust the suspension, and man, I went ahead and pretty much adjusted it out. I think I'm at 6.5 dots, and this bike handles and feels absolutely freaking amazing. It feels like a whole new motorcycle right now. Like, because like before I could ride it, you know what I'm saying, it was comfortable. I still need to do the seat, but before it was like, if I hit a bump, it just wears you out, yo. It would just absolutely wear you out. But now, since you know what I'm saying, since his video and I adjusted the suspension, I could probably sit on this bike and ride it all day. I mean, until I run out of gas and gotta stop anyway. You know what I mean? Which I just put gas in it. But yo, it was like, yo, I could not believe that this bike now feels that way, which is crazy. I think I'm gonna go on a little journey. And I'm just like, yo, like, it literally feels like a whole new bike, man. So if you have a Sportster, make sure you're following Kenny Quest. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following INJ Moto and Blockhead Moto and the whole Blockhead crew. And I'm telling you, you will learn so much about this motorcycle just by watching YouTube videos. And like I said, this bike feels like a whole new motorcycle now. Once I get the new seat, I could pretty much put in hours of seat time on this thing. Little do people know, this bike keeps up very, very well. Like, you would have to have a really, really fast bike in order to outrun this bike, number one. So don't believe a lot of the stuff that people tell you about the 1200 or the 48. Only downside is that it doesn't have a huge gas tank, but it's not underpowered. I mean, to me, you know, it's definitely more power than what I need, you know what I mean? And once you adjust the suspension, which I don't think a lot of people realize that you can do, but once you adjust the suspension on it, it feels like a whole new bike, man. Definitely does. Jeez, this lady pulled up hella close behind me. So definitely, if you haven't had a chance to, like I said, disregard how I mentioned it, like which way the adjustments go from soft to stiff or whatever. But the more dots you have, the stiffer the suspension is. And if you're a heavier person, you know, I'm about 220, 5'11", height wise. If you're a heavier person, you definitely want to stiffen out the suspension as much as possible. And then you also want to accommodate, like if you're going to be carrying anything on the back of the bike. Nobody rides on my bike but me. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no backpacks, no ladies. I mean, I have a literal backpack, you know, on me, but sometimes. But other than that, nobody else rides on my bike. I don't put luggage on it or anything like that. But for my weight, with the suspension setting, oh my God, this bike feels like a brand new motorcycle, man. A whole brand new motorcycle, and I love it, bro. So again, shout out to Kenny Quest. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just can't wait to start doing the adjustments on the bike, man. Between the seat, I need to do a seat. I need to do a swing arm bag because I don't have anywhere to carry anything on this bike. There's no room under the seat for anything at all. There's literally nowhere that you could put anything on this bike. So I think I'm gonna do a swing arm bag. And I eventually want to change the handlebars out, which once I change the handlebars out, I am going to be able to put a handlebar bag on it. So that gives me, you know, a better place to carry my phone that I feel more comfortable on, you know. So I don't know. I tell you what though, this bike rides so much better now, and it feels so much better. That's one of the reasons why I ended up going with the Sportster, because I know it was very, very customizable. It was very customizable to how I want to have it set up. So I could change pretty much everything about this bike. I do think once I get the new bars, I'm gonna have to change the top clamp of the trees. Because like I said, again, I'm probably gonna do an MXT style bar, so it brings the bar up. I'm gonna end up going club style on the bike instead of bobber style. Although the way the bike is set up now is super comfortable. I just really need a better seat. You know, the seat is the only thing that really bothers me right now, but other than that, man, I like it. I was thinking about putting music up here, but that all depends. But I do want a front fairing. It's definitely going to be a Memphis Shades because it's easily removable if I want to remove it, but it also blocks, you know, a lot of the wind. Because this bike on the highway, although it holds up phenomenal, it keeps up perfect on the highway. I can't wait to ride on the highway with the new suspension setting, but you get a lot of wind kicking your behind, kicking your booty on the highway. So, but yeah, man, that's all I just wanted to let y'all know about the suspension setting. If you are a heavier person or even a lighter person, man, go ahead and adjust the suspension. That should be the first thing that you do on this motorcycle, is adjust the suspension on it. The first thing, and I guarantee you it'll ride a lot better than what a lot of people say it does. Pull up in here for a little bit. This is like the observation area. Man, I would definitely suggest anybody one day just get your Harley Davidson and just jump on it and go wherever it takes you, man. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but all the way out there, if you can see, that's the whole launch pad for the space shuttles. All the way out there, those two buildings, or that one big building, then there's a bunch of little buildings on the side, and then you can see the launch pad straight ahead. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Love it, man.